When it comes to mindfulness, the goal is not for us to meditate or watch some mindfulness guru or meditate 24/7 to become mindful. Mindfulness, or in general, being mindful, simply means being aware of our surrounding, aware of the things that are happening to us. And it's really important for us to be aware of our surrounding and the things that are happening to us, because it will help us understand what is it that we are looking for in this life, and kind of be able to pinpoint the parts that are important to us and distinguish those for the parts that are non-essential. A lot of the time, the concept of mindfulness, the way that we can look at it, is we have to look at it as us becoming an observer, kind of like a nature's photographer. A nature's photographer goes out in the wild, puts his stuff down, camps at a location, and just awaits for something to happen. The nature photographer will not come and interfere with the nature, otherwise it won't happen, or they won't capture that beautiful moment, the essence of that freedom of animals or birds or anything inside of the wild. Simply, the only thing that can lead to success for a nature's photographer is the concept of patience and absorbance. Absorbing the surrounding, absorbing the environment, absorbing what's happening around us in this world. And what separates us, those who practice mindfulness versus those who don't practice mindfulness, is the not understanding of the little things that are happening. There are a couple of sensations, actually thousands of sensations, that at the given moment happens to our body and ourself, that puts us in a very interesting position, that makes our brain create a judgment based on what's important and what is not important. Let's let's dive a little deeper inside of this notion of the thousand sensation. One of those examples is the smell that you're smelling. There are a couple of smells right now around you that hits your nostrils, and then you smell those things. Maybe it's the food that you're cooking. Maybe you just wash your dishes or your clothes and then you have that smell. Maybe you put on some cologne, or maybe somebody's mowing their garden or their grass outside, and then you have that little sensation of that grass. On top of that, you have your sight sensation. You are visualizing things. You are watching this video. Then you have your touch. You're holding your phone, or maybe you are sitting on your chair, or you're in an environment that your feet are on the ground and maybe they're cold. Then we have our feeling. Maybe there are a little bit of sadness, anger, intuition, happiness. Maybe there is a grudge on someone. Maybe it's a little bit of frustration. Different type of feeling. And then once you add these up, our brain kind of becomes overwhelmed. Thus wants, by the nature of its survival, to pick the one that he thinks or she thinks is important. The brain being the person. So it's important for us to become mindfulness, to be able to retrain our brain, our mind, in a way that we know and see it best fit. It's not going to be easy to distinguish out of all of those smells which one to be able to smell. But over time, with practice, is important. We get a hang of this mindfulness concept, so we be able to control it. For example, there is a really bad smell coming from outside, but we have a couple of flowers in our house. Now, which smell should take priority and take over our sensation? There is a really deep down anger inside of us towards a friend that we have, yet there are some good memories that we want to cherish and we want to nourish it. Which one should overcome the other? There is a really, really cold feeling that we have right now, but there are steps that we can take in order to prevent it. So being mindful allows us to see the possibility, the things that are open, And one way that we can look at it is that, imagine if you're looking at something with your naked eye. Mindfulness becomes a magnifier for your eyes and allows you to magnify the things that you are seeing down into the circle molecular level, so you'll be able to distinguish what is exactly each thing is made out of. Think about buying a new camera, and once you take it out of the box, there is some dirt on your lens. Now, once you use your camera, that could be multi-thousand-dollar camera. Once you use that lens and that camera, the picture, they're not gonna have great quality. But because we are blinded to the actual dirt that is on the lens, we won't be able to notice it, open the camera up, clean the lens up, and then use it to its highest potential. By mindfulness, we train our brain, we train our body to use those information to be able to learn that, hey, that camera needs to be opened up, it needs to be cleaned up, and now we have a different vision of what's happening around us. Now we have that magnifying glass on our eyes, and now we can see down to molecular levels of what everything is made out of and how things should be working in order for them to work properly. So when it comes to mindfulness, there are a couple of things that we need to keep in mind. First and foremost, what is it that we're trying to be mindful of? If you're asking yourself this question, you're in the wrong path. The path of mindfulness is to start from basic, from ground zero. When a child starts walking, they won't start learning about ways to improve their sprint. They're gonna learn and start walking by just standing up, sitting up. So the first thing that we need to do is to sit up in our own self. We need to understand, okay, this is where I am right now. This is what I want to achieve, and this is how I'm gonna achieve it. I'm gonna stand up. So the first thing, the only thing you need to do in order for yourself to become mindful is for yourself to observe. Take note of the things that you see around you. Instead of just wandering around, take a little time. Slow yourself down. Take a step back. Think before you say something. That way you become mindful of the words that are coming out of your mouth. You become aware of the things that you are gonna say. When you see something, try to recall its name. A light, a camera, a microphone, stand, a watch, a shirt. If I look at myself in the mirror. When you're trying to eat something, become aware of the things that you are eating. Potato, sweetness, rice, steak, sourness, hot, cold. And then as you're doing this, observe it, learn it, take it in. You're hearing a sound, a bang, laughter, scream. This can allow you to be mindful of your present moment. To be mindful doesn't mean to have certain capacities or certain abilities that are unknown to human mind. To be mindful in order for you to observe. The unobserver is to become mindful of the little things. And once you're mindful of the little things, next time you're trying to make a decision, next time you're trying to make a judgment, next time you're trying to do something, then you can reach into your untapped potentials and rediscover a brand new you who is capable of doing things that no average person is capable of doing. So practice mindfulness every day. Try to notice things that you are not noticed. Come out of that autopilot sensation that you are, because that autopilot sensation is what's holding you back. Once you release yourself from that autopilot sensation and you become the driver, then now you are making the decision. Now you're deciding when to brake, when to hit the gas, when to go right, when to go left. First step, become aware of your surrounding. and then the rest will follow.